Click.
The nighttime is the right time.
The nighttime is the right time.
The
Nighttime is the right time.
The
Nighttime is the right time.
Whoa! It's episode 10 of It's Always Something, the podcast, the movie.
The official podcast.
Yeah, this is the official podcast.
Don't fall for any of those fake ones out there.
There's some fake ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they got the name before us, but they're fake. You can tell.
knockoffs.
Yeah, it's one of them. I don't know. It's a Chinese knockoff. It could be Korean. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to say where they're from because I don't know. I just know it was pretty.
Yeah.
I looked at the material and it was no good.
Ours is the official one because we said so.
Right, because we said so, and because we're not on there, whatever it's not even a podcast. It's like, there is one though. There's another Always Something podcast, but
It's not.
Is even do they even have 10 episodes?
Let's get into it.
So, episode 10. This is a huge moment for multiple reasons. Reason number one, we are reviewing two movies. Again, that's kind of what we do. We like to do the twofers. One of them is one of the best comedies around. It's a really good one. That would be The Burbs, and then we're gonna follow through with another Tom Hanks gem, Money Pit. So that's our theme. Is Thomas Hanks, and he's a stud. He was back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh man,
that guy could do no wrong. He was in every movie every year.
Even if women weren't attracted to his looks, his humor was just couldn't be.
And that should go. I mean, Tom Hanks is living proof that if you're just a little bit humorous and sure of yourself, you can get any chick. He's nailing them left and right. I don't know what happened in You Got Mail or
I must have missed all that.
that Seattle movie.
That's when he rocked him up
in Seattle.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Dude, that's when he went big time in the chick department.
Oh yeah. They're lining up
Sleepless
at
in
his
Seattle.
door.
He's like, come on in.
I heard his
Rack it up.
AOL aim was just chirping off the. It never stopped after that.
Yeah.
After You Got Mail.
That's the thing. They're doing all these comedies. They're playing around, having fun with their fame, and then when they're getting ready to settle down, that's when they start moving into dramas, hoping to hook up with a long-term girl.
Every
Smart
major
move.
comedian,
Yeah.
starts off in comedies.
Like, no, I have more depth than that. No.
And not to be fair, he was never like a real comedian. He was just like a comic actor, I guess you'd say. But he was in a few sitcoms, wasn't he? He was in what was the sitcom he was in? I know I saw him in a sitcom.
I don't remember him in a sitcom.
Oh boy, you guys keep
Moonlighting in Manhattan. No, that was Bruce
I'm too
Willis.
young for that, man.
Yeah,
I don't
that
remember.
was Moonlighting. That was Bruce Willis.
Well, a lot of
Yeah.
comedians start off doing stand-up too. He never did.
I don't.
stand-up
That's what I'm
either,
saying.
right?
I don't think he was like a comedian in
Yeah.
the traditional sense. I think he was more just a comic in bits. Like good timing. Obviously, he's got good, comedic timing. He's not unattractive. He's a decent looking dude. But the one thing I was noticing. Whoa!
I'm glad we're going there with that.
I mean, come on. What are you guys, a little bashful? You can't say like Brad Pitt's a stud. Like, are you like, ooh, I don't know. I mean, Brad Pitt was ripped. That let's just say he was a hunk, just like Paul Rudd. Come on.
Hey,
He's an
can I
attractive
switch
dude.
spots with one of you guys?
Oh my god.
I don't think the alien's gonna complain.
I wouldn't kick him out of bed or anything, but
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
like if we were having a sleepover, I mean.
All right. Well, anyways, so we're going to talk about Money Pit. We'll talk about Money Pit first because I think we have so much to say about The Burbs because it's such a good movie. And Money Pit was good. It just wasn't. I wouldn't call it great, but it was good.
You know, yeah, I agree. And Money Pit, I've seen it so many times growing up because my parents were into it. My brother and sisters were into it. We joked about it all the time. But seeing it as an adult, some of the stuff that was really funny kind of seemed kind of dumb, kind of cheesy now when I see it.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know, just some of the goofy stuff that he does or the way he when he's laughing when the tub falls through the floor and smashes, he starts laughing. His goofy laugh, which is funny. It's not, not funny. It's just that it's not as funny
Right.
Okay.
Right.
as an adult. It's just kind of like, okay, it's just, you can stop now. That kind of thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
you're
I
funny.
That scene went
but
long. That
it's
scene
not
went
that
long.
funny.
It wasn't that funny. They tried to make it funny. And I feel like if you're on set, it probably would have been funny.
And as a
But it's
kid-
one of
but
those
as a
things that doesn't
kid-
translate,
Yeah.
It
I remember when we were young, we were joked
Yeah.
about it all the time. We were like, it's hilarious the way he's laughing, but I don't know.
So the
Yeah.
show he was on, it's
you
called
figured it out?
Bosom Buddies. And he's like a cross-dresser. I'll show you
Oh,
guys.
man.
Sounds
That's
like
the picture.
a winner.
I knew it was from something.
Wow. How did he recover from that?
Wow.
Yeah, that was his first things he did. He was on Bosom Buddies for the VR crew there. And Yeah, he was like he dressed up as a woman, and it's some weird as a sitcom, obviously a situational comedy
Yeah.
for the folks at home, and for some reason they had to dress up as women, like they had to pretend they're women. I think it's for the apartment they're living in or some weird crap like that, and that was the whole shtick of it, is he had to they had to dress as women.
There was a little cross-dressing
Bosom
action in Money Pit as well. Do you guys remember the name of the band?
What band?
He was like an
Oh.
agent for like a
Oh,
band.
Right.
with a kid.
I don't remember.
No,
the name of
that was like his nephew or something.
Yeah, I know what band you're talking about. I
His
just can't
job, he was
remember
like
the
an
name of that.
agent or something. He represented this band.
He's
They're
a
called
lawyer.
Cheap
Yeah, he's a
Girl.
lawyer.
Cheap girl.
I think that was
that's
a
what it
cheap
was?
girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a cheap trick?
Yeah, I know.
Well,
It sounds like a.
It was like
yeah,
a bunch
yeah.
of dudes dressed
Cheap
as
trick.
women doing like
Is that why
this.
the guy was dressed up as a girl? I
Yes.
I stepped out to make coffee real quick. And
Yeah,
I
the
stepped back
bearded
and also,
grizzly dude.
he was wearing like I was like, all right, when did this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Money Pit. Well, like I said, it was a good movie. It's fun. It's funny for any like first time homeowners or anyone that's bought a house
Yeah, for
because I mean, I feel like especially in my old house, I can definitely relate to like it's one of those movies where right when he fixes something, immediately something else goes wrong. Like
Yeah.
the part where he knocks on his door. Well, first he rings the doorbell. His doorbell explodes on fire. And he's like, all right, whatever. So he knocks on the door. They get his girlfriend to come open it up for him. As he's knocking on it, the door just falls off the hinges. And then in the next scene, it shows him like fixing, like he fixed the door, he's swinging it open, shuts it, open, shut, and it just fixed it perfectly. Finally, everything's great. He's like, all right. And he shut the door. And then the whole frame just came
falls
down.
out.
And fell.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Or
man-
or anybody who's hired a contractor.
oh, that's true
and
too.
said,
Yeah.
and gave him a time frame, and then it just blew it out of the
Well,
water. How long? would
how
that
long
How
is
long
it
is that
gonna-
going to take?
How long's the episode gonna take?
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Really?
You know what's funny actually about that?
Any
When I was
idea
working
when
with
you're
my
going to
dad,
be finished
he would,
here?
customers would ask him, "How long is this job going to take?" And after he saw that movie, he'd tell everybody 2 weeks.
He would say it as a joke, like, because he's, he loves that movie, but,
He would never
They didn't
correct
get
it.
it.
yeah, did the people ever know
They
that?
would,
hilarious.
they would kind of chuckle about it, and then he would just laugh and walk off, and I would just be like,
They probably haven't seen that movie.
He could probably get it done in like 2 days too.
"Yeah."
Oh, man.
2 weeks.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that really hit home about it. I think that's why it makes it so funny. Better than any, I don't know. The acting in it was
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
the acting is all right. My dog's kind of shuffling around trying to jam on the cameras, just jamming me up here, jamming me up. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of funny things that happen, and especially as a homeowner, like where anytime you've had work done, and then the like psychos that come to fix their house,
Mm-hmm.
it's just ridiculous. You got like
Just a variety of crazy
Oh,
people.
yeah.
little person, the
Yeah.
guy
That
Body
perfect-
by Jake. What's his name? Jake, whatever.
I don't know. his
I
last
swear
name,
he was
but-
in it. I think
I think that was him.
yeah,
Was
because
it?
that was during his heyday when he was popular.
Yeah, for
he
sure.
had his own like workout
back in the
equipment.
80s. Oh, yeah.
So
The
I think the
Peepin'
Body by Jake guy
Toms.
was there. Oh yeah, they're like, yeah. There's like they're about to do it, and they're
Yeah.
like all standing there drinking coffee, watching.
Painting rooms random colors that nobody told him to paint.
What did he say when he
Yeah,
was
it
a
was-
sprayer?
It was blue, and he's like,
You wanted
nothing
this-
was blue.
You want
You
this
wanted this
blue like
room
the
blue,
hallway,
right?
right? He's like, no, I want that blue. What do you mean by like the hallway? He's like, I don't want anything blue. Well, now I got to clean them out with a sprayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how they kept coming up with more and more money to pay for it in the movie because
Yeah.
they got a good deal on it. That's the whole. I don't think
man.
we even talked about what the whole synopsis of the
They
movie
got
is.
shystered big time.
The idea of the movie was this guy and girl. Well, she won't marry him, but that's a whole. He wants her to marry her. She won't marry him. But they're together anyways. They decide to buy a house because they find a good deal on one, and they got kicked out of their old apartment for someone was moving in or something. It's kind of weird, but all right. So they decide to buy a house. They look all over and they find the last like decent house, and it's just too good to be true. Obviously,
It's $1 million house for $200K.
yeah, it's a really big house. It's awesome, and of course they go there, and I just remember the reason why the lady was selling it because she was married to
Carlos.
Carlos the pool boy.
Yeah. He was the pool boy for Hitler.
She's like the Israeli special forces came to my house and
Oh, wow.
the pool boy was her husband, and she was apparently had to sell it because of that. That's why it's such a good deal.
Yeah, extradition or
Yeah.
something.
And obviously, well, we don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if they ever come
Who
back to
knows?
that, but
yeah.
she's happy to sell it for a very good price. And of course, they're like, oh, we got to get it, and so they
Yeah.
get it. And then immediately after they get it, all the contractors they call are laughing at them. Like every time someone comes in the house, like, you actually bought this thing? You know?
They did too.
And so that happens several times. Like even
Yeah.
like the plumber comes. That's another thing. Like the plumber just shows up randomly, and he doesn't even go in. He's like drinking like whiskey or scotch or something. And he's like, that's gonna cost $5,000. He's like, you didn't even check the pipes. He's like, I know about it. It didn't change 3 years ago, did it? Just So he knew about the house.
He's like, I checked it 3 years ago. You think it got better since then?
Right. So apparently they all knew. I think they didn't really develop that too well, but they weren't really in your face about it. The fact that all the people knew it was a money pit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole idea of that movie, Money Pit, obviously, it kind of takes what everybody knows about home ownership and just exaggerates every aspect of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everything is just like, you know, blown out of proportion.
Right.
You know, just everything's more than expected to be, and it's just
Which does happen.
One thing gets fixed.
Like I said, I like the realism where that is something that happens. Obviously, it's a
yeah.
movie, it's a comedy, they blow it out of
You
proportion.
fix one thing and another thing's going wrong, and then
Right.
another thing, it just never ends.
The raccoon jumps out of the dumbwaiter.
Yeah.
And he runs up the stairs to save her. He just finished fixing the stairs. And he's climbing up the stairs, and like the whole thing,
The whole stairway
just collapses.
Yeah.
Oh, it's humorous because he had just fixed the stair. Well, fixed them,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, is all in all, I would say it was a good movie. Great, no, but I'd watch it a couple times. I've seen it probably 3 times now, and
Every 10 years is
something like that.
I
Every
was just
10
gonna
years.
say that. Yeah, it's like
it's a decade.
It's a good movie, but you know, every 10 years or so,
You're fine. You're fine.
some good laughs.
every time you buy a new house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every time you buy an old used house that's not brand
or
new.
anybody who's buying a new house should watch that.
Oh, for sure, they get a kick out of it because
Yeah, those
you're about to
ones.
experience it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or everybody that's about to get tricked
Dealing with
into buying a new house.
contractors. Yeah, it kind of gives you that feel too. Like it exaggerates that as well, not just home ownership, but dealing with contractors and how some are
One
sleazy.
thing that I'd mentioned to you was I have a little experience in real estate, and I noticed they didn't use a realtor for buying the house.
Right.
And not only did they not use a realtor because they talked to the owner, the first thing a realtor would tell you, or anyone, if you just look online, is you got to get it inspected.
Right.
You know, you got to get inspected. And they went no inspection. They waived, which is something that was actually funny enough here in Austin. People were doing left and right just a year ago, 2 years ago.
Oh, they're so desperate to buy in this area
Because the
They were
houses were
like-
selling so fast.
Oh yeah, no time for that.
They would literally say that, like, the homeowner would be like no inspections. Like, we're selling
Wow.
it as you
'Cause
can
it-
pay for your own, but they better be here pronto.
Sight unseen.
Because
Yep.
they know if they wait for an inspection, somebody else is just gonna swoop in and buy it.
Right. Someone will
Cash
literally
offer.
show up with money, with cash,
Yeah.
and be like, that house is mine now. And of course, if you're trying to make them wait on the option period of,
Yeah.
5 days or whatever to
And
get an inspection.
inspectors, I'm sure inspectors are so busy.
Oh,
you
they're
know?
crazy busy.
There's a wait on to getting
their
inspected.
waits were like a month long. It
Yeah.
was insane. Man, what a good time it was to be an inspector back then. But yeah, so that's just a little warning that you should probably get an inspection. I wonder how many of
Yeah.
those people here in Austin ran into problems with something.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure there had to be many,
Man.
Like I've seen raccoons in walls, like
Raccoons.
skunk apes in backyards.
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, I've seen it all. Gremlins too. Speaking
Yeah.
of Gremlins, let's go on to the next movie. Well, I guess we should rank this movie, right? What do you think? Should we give this a rating? Are we ready for it?
Might as well jump right in there.
All right. So, Caleb, we'll do this on air and live because I think we didn't talk. We are going to discuss this earlier, but we ran into situations. It took 2 weeks to get here.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks to fix that camera. But we're thinking about changing the ranking system to a 10. Would that be easier? Would you guys like that better, or would you want to keep the 5?
Instead of saying, "Oh, this is a 2.7," or you're
Caleb feels.
I guess I'm good with
forget
that.
Just
about
round
that.
numbers?
Just
For that
just
reason?
go to
Yeah.
or just you can still do points, but if you're using out of 10, you can just go to 0.5. It's either
10
it's either
10.5.
even number or it's 0.5.
Yeah.
right.
Forget all the other things.
Yeah.
It just makes it too tricky.
Are you guys more comfortable?
Yeah, I'm
with
okay
that?
with that.
I'm good
Okay.
with that.
All right, we're
Yeah.
gonna go by the 10 scale then.
Yes.
We're changing. So that means next episode we're gonna get a list of all the movies we've done so far. We're gonna re-rank them very quickly.
Well,
And
you just
same rank. We're just gonna scale it to 10. So we'll have a list of how they are now.
just take them how they are. Double it.
Double it.
Double
That's
it.
right. I mean, that is the easiest way to
Double
do
it. Give it to the next person.
Right. So we'll do that, and that'll be next week. But this week we'll start with.
What do you give it? Let's just go right down the line.
No, I want to start with Caleb.
Oh,
Yeah, because he's seen it more than anyone.
under pressure.
Well, I think Josh has seen it the most.
Have you?
Actually,
Just because of my age or what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
I've seen
10th
everything.
year for you.
Oh.
I'm not the oldest here.
I mean, I could start it. I feel like it's a shooting from the hip here. I didn't have a lot of time to think about it.
You only saw it one time, right?
No, I've seen it 3 times.
Okay.
But I rushed it this time
Okay.
because I ran out of time. But I would say 6.8. 6.8 is what I'm going to go with. It's a good
Hey,
movie.
he said
So much for
0.5.
0.5s.
What do you mean?
He said 0.5 or the next number.
Well,
Oh,
it's
still
okay.
10 scale.
I think we should. I mean, I think we could still do that.
Going
I
back
think-
to the Dewey Decimal System.
Dewey Decimal System.
but I think it'll be a little bit more.
That is
Because then it'll give it a little bit more.
Right. That means movies that are
Yeah.
slightly better,
Yeah,
slightly
yeah.
worse. Like, for example, this movie compared to The Burbs, this was the lesser movie by far.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
All
I would
right.
maybe give it 6.9. It was watchable. It's funny. I'm a 6.9. That's the final answer. Final answer.
0.8 to 0.9.
Yep. See,
right.
that's important.
Science-
What if there's a movie slightly worse? You know?
Bill Nye, the science guy over here.
Everything's scientific, man. There has to be rules. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. 6.9. Final answer. I'm pushing in. Caleb, what do you think?
Yeah. I'll say. Honestly, I was actually going between. I was hovering between like 6.9, 7.1 that area.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna go with a 7.1
Wow. Okay.
Dang.
Oh,
because
why? Tell
it
me.
was. Yeah. Okay, I will tell you. It was good. It's funny, and it's just. It's funny enough to be a 7. Okay, that's it. It's funny enough to be a 7.1 and not less than that. So
That's
let's
fair.
move on.
That's fair. That's fair. All right,
Okay.
Andrew.
All right. Sorry. Hold on.
He's getting insight from the intelligence.
Yeah.
You don't even
right.
have to lean over. He just telepathically.
I know.
Yeah.
So we're at 7.0. 7.
Okay.
Right on the
Oh,
Richter
we're
scale.
we're all right there,
Yeah, right
guys.
there.
Nice even
Okay.
number.
Good to know. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Wow. All
Yeah,
right.
right there.
Well, I'm about to blow all you
Well,
out
it
of
was-
the water.
I
Oh,
guarantee it. Let
boy.
me before he even says it, I guarantee he's gonna be like at 7.7.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Hey, don't put numbers in his head.
Go
Higher or
ahead.
lower? Higher. Let's
Eight-
play it. We
eight-
should gamble on this.
He's
Higher,
probably-
lower. Higher, lower.
He's
What do you
probably
think?
8.2 over
You're
there.
going lower. Andy's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
lower.
you're going
I'm
low.
going higher. I'm going higher than a
Hi-
7.
Higher.
I think he's going to
Higher.
8. I think he's
Go
going
for it.
8.
All right, go ahead.
8.3.
7.5.
Oh,
Oh, man.
I knew he'd be the highest.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Jeez.
I just wasn't sure how
It's
high.
because it was directed by Spielberg, right?
What?
Wasn't
Money
it?
Pit?
Wasn't it?
I don't
No
know.
way.
What on earth?
Spielberg was doing E.T. at that time.
In 89? 86?
That's 86? 86, I think it was.
No.
All right, hold on. Jamie,
Wasn't it?
pull that up for us, would you?
Jamie.
Oh yeah,
Jaime.
86. It was 86.
Yeah, I know
And
that.
then
86,
because
I did my homework.
Burbs 89.
89, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is before Burbs. You
Yeah.
can tell
It
it's
was,
much
yeah.
younger. Yeah, Burbs was 89. All right, so that's our final answer for Money Pit. Would you watch it? Yes. You should see it. It's a classic comedy.
Definitely worth a watch.
I think
Definitely
it's
worth a watch.
doubt.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it is.
it was good.
It is absolutely hilarious.
It was a good movie. And moving on to a better movie, we're going to talk about The Burbs. The Burbs is the like quintessential like suburban dad movie of like that's like your future, you know? Like
Yeah.
I think it's the reason why these movies work so well together to watch them both because they have a similar theme of living in the suburbs and well I guess that was kind of in the city, but having your own house, you know. Wasn't it? Was
No,
it
they
the
were an
city,
hour.
right?
They were an hour outside the city.
Yeah, it's outside
They were
the city. So
trying
it
to
was the
live in-
Burbs.
Yeah, they're trying to live
Yeah.
in the city, but they got.
But they always ended up in the city. But yeah, so
Yeah.
anyways, they lived in the suburbs, and obviously the Burbs is about the suburbs. And
Yeah.
how,
Hickory
like,
Hills.
I'm sorry?
Hickory Hills was the neighborhood.
Of
Iowa. It was actually in
Money
Iowa,
Pit.
somewhere in
That
Iowa.
was-
of what?
That was Money Pit.
You're
No,
talking
no,
about,
the Burbs. The Burbs.
Oh,
Oh,
really? I didn't know
Burbs.
that.
No, you're wrong.
Oh no, that's not it.
That's
You
not
sure?
it. Wait,
Oh,
wait.
I don't think so.
We'll finish this one. We'll finish.
Okay.
We will finish this.
I think you're close, but I don't know about
Huh.
that
I
exactly.
don't even remember them saying it.
No, they did.
Oh, they did.
They did.
And there's also they
They
zoom in
did.
on a sign right when they come in.
Hmm.
However,
Yeah.
there's a little trick here, and I have a little thing we're gonna do in the middle of this. Okay, a second surprise.
flipping guy.
A second surprise, but
All right.
there's a double answer, and I guess it. Yeah, we'll wait on this because
Okay.
as soon as we're finished doing the review, I have a little test for us, and
Okay.
it's going to be whoever buzzes in first.
I'll tell you what. Speaking of tests, you can give me a test. Ask
Oh,
me
it's
anything
happening.
in the world about the Burbs.
Oh,
and
it's
I-
happening.
And I know the answer.
Oh, it's happening.
I could write that script, scene by scene, word for word.
You remember this? You remember this, everyone at
I
home,
know
because
everything about this movie.
I wrote down a 5-question quiz Okay.
You did?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I know.
I made a 5-question quiz.
I guarantee I know every single answer.
And I'm really excited to see about. I think a lot of them are layups. If you know the movie at all, which I'm sure you're going to get. I think you'll get at least 4 out of the 5.
I hope you wrote a really hard one because I know everything about it.
One's not hard, but it's. We'll see. It's
Okay,
one of them that might slip, but I know you like this movie so much. It's mostly for you, but I want we'll see if these guys have an opportunity to buzz in.
Okay.
You might run away
Deal.
at this one. We'll have a
Josh
buzzer
knows
going.
it pretty good, but
I'm going to be the host. You guys are the
I think I know it the
contestants.
best by far.
I'm
By
the host.
far.
You're the contestants. You buzz
Right.
in, and whoever knows the answer. If you can take this home, a 5 straight,
Oh, I
you'll
know
get a
it.
trophy. I'll 3D print you a trophy.
Please.
All right,
So
deal.
the Burbs, Caleb. Do you want to tell us?
Oh,
what
is
the
the
Burbs
quiz starting?
No.
Oh, okay. What about it?
You tell us what the Burbs is about.
Yeah, so you have this cul-de-sac that these neighbors are all living on, and these neighbors, this house where their neighbor, the Knapps, that's their last name, the Knapps lived. Well, suddenly they weren't there anymore, and this other neighbor was living there, and that's kind of where it starts off. It's already being occupied by this other family
They already
who's
moved
like,
in. Yeah.
nobody comes in, nobody goes out. It's really kind of creepy. Their house looks like
The lawn's dead.
like it's like hundreds of years older than everybody else's.
All the sun, like
the lawn's
it
dead.
makes you think like the Naps must have not taken very good care of it to die that fast.
Oh yeah,
But
everything's
who
kind of
knows?
exaggerated with the whole house.
although
It's
they
just
did say
like,
while the Naps were there, the lawn, like there's a lawn to mow. That was one of the lines they said in it.
well, kind of to take a twist off that. So one of the scenes, they're up there. Mr. Peterson was up there watching in them digging in the backyard that night when it was raining. He's about to have that dream. And if you look, there's grass back there. It's a fully, full lawn back there. And the only dirt you can see is where they're digging. It's like
Right.
these little mud piles where they're digging.
But that's not where they're
Well,
in the back.
they go
yeah.
back there to dig after their, later on in the movie, and it's like there is no grass. It's
That's
all like
true.
dried up dirt and stuff. I'm
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
what happened to that lawn that was there? It was like a full lawn.
I do
Yeah.
remember thinking that too.
It's
Anyway,
going to be in
So,
the trivia
all right,
later.
so basically, the neighbors disappear.
Oh, yeah.
and they never see anyone come in or out until
they never
barely.
They didn't
ever.
see a moving van. They didn't see the Naps moving.
So the main character, I think it was Walter, right? Tom Hanks' character.
Oh no, Walter is
no.
the old guy with the dog.
What is Tom Hanks' character?
Peter's
Peterson.
Is he Peterson?
Yeah. Ray
Is he going to be on the
Peterson, I
test?
think. It is.
Ray.
Red Rover, send Ray on over. Good.
Anyways, the whole thing was he's supposed to be going on this vacation for 2 weeks.
Oh, he's on vacation. Yeah.
He's on vacation for 2 weeks, but he's like, no, let me just stay here and relax.
Yeah.
He literally invented the staycation.
His
right
wife
there.
wanted
He
him
went
to
in the
go
first-
to
the
her
beach.
Yeah,
Camping
beach
or
house.
whatever. Yeah. The beach house.
but he wanted to stay home because he wanted to investigate this house with
Right,
his
so-
neighbors.
Well, at
creepy
first he was
neighbors.
just staying home regardless.
Not creepy neighbors, but
He's just staying. He wanted to stay home.
well, yeah, he doesn't.
That had nothing to do with
he
anything.
doesn't even like going over there
Yeah.
anyways. He said they're
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
roped
all of a
into
sudden,
that by
obviously,
Ray.
just funny things happen, and then Walter.
Yeah, then the neighbor Walter, who's this old guy who has this annoying dog that poops in everybody's yard, he suddenly kind of disappears, and they think that these people that live in this house have something to do with it,
Right.
and
So they're looking for evidence from the rest of the movie. They're looking for evidence of what happened to Walter and
Yeah.
how they can tie it to the Klopex.
and then they go into Walter's house, and they find his old wig in
Toupee.
there, toupee and stuff in there, and then whatever, and then later on it's kind of skips.
what's the difference between a toupee and a wig?
A toupee covers a part of the top of your head. A wig covers your whole head.
Okay.
Oh wow, this guy knows a lot about. He's probably looked into that or something.
Nice.
I mean, when you're bald, that comes with the
Or just has general
territory.
knowledge.
He gets ads on Google for him.
I've heard bald is beautiful though.
It's true. And God only made a certain amount of perfect heads.
Right.
The rest he covered with hair.
That's true. I've read that on a shirt somewhere. I think at Wisconsin Dells.
Anywho.
All right, so the Burbs. So many funny lines in the Burbs. I would say the majority of the movie is quotable, and there's good reason for that because. So
Yeah.
I was doing a little investigating. It's like I'm sitting around watching it. I've seen it a million times. Just like you've seen it more than me for sure. But I was like,
Yeah.
man, there's so many good lines in it. I wonder
Oh, yeah.
who wrote it and all this stuff. So it turns out the Burbs is one of only 2 movies being filmed at the time because there was a writer's strike again back in 89.
Always.
88.
And 88, 89. Yeah, it must have been 88 because that came out in 8. Yeah, so there's a writer's strike going on, and they couldn't have like the screenwriter on set to help out with anything. So a lot of the lines, a vast majority of the lines were made up on the spot. What's it called?
Improvised.
Improv. So that's like the part,
That's
one of my
cool.
favorite parts, like you just did earlier, when Rumsfeld goes up to the wall and starts pulling on the wallpaper.
Yeah.
Like he just starts tearing
It
it.
just
like,
keeps going and going.
yeah, ripping down the flipping wallpaper. That was all improvised. Like that wasn't in the script at all. He just started doing it because he thought it'd be funny, and they filmed it, and
That's
it made it.
awesome.
Oh, that was a great part.
Yeah, but many scenes in it were like that, where it's just like improvised on the spot, like the part
Ad-libbed or whatever.
Yeah, the part where Tom Hanks at the end when he's like
On the stretcher and
on the stretcher and he threw it in the back of the ambulance and get in and laid on it. That's
funny,
all improv.
I was wondering when I saw that part. We just watched it last week. I was wondering when he did that because the way he laid on it and then just
yeah, you can tell the camera didn't really know what to do either.
He's like,
if you
take me to
watch
the
it,
hospital.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah,
jumps
I've been
into
blown
the-
up.
Yeah.
Take me to the hospital.
Yeah, that's all improv, all of it. So that's why it was just like, man, they really did well. They connected well. Like the cast worked really well.
Oh,
together.
yeah.
So so many great
Yeah.
lines in the Burbs.
a lot of the scenes with Carrie Fisher, the wife too, was ad-libbed.
Yeah,
Like the Jeopardy scene.
yeah, the Jeopardy scene. Yep. Carrie Fisher was in it, obviously. Princess Leia, one of her, I guess, more popular movies besides Star Wars. I mean, I even forgot it was her until like I watched it and I was like, oh
wow.
yeah.
Well, I think that's what she was going for. She wanted to break away from the weird.
And apparently,
sister.
speaking of wigs, she wore a wig throughout the whole thing until the very
What?
end. Yeah, she had a wig on the whole time. apparently.
Carol?
Yeah.
Remember when those guys go over to their house and they're like, "Hey, can Ray come out?"
I thought it was hilarious.
He's like, he can't come out right now. He can't come out till he resembles the man that I married.
Yeah, that's so good.
Are you? Please,
He, like,
Carol.
kicks
They're
the dirt and he's like,
"Please." They're
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's totally like the kids. Like,
Yeah,
so it
it's
turns out
just
like that's
hilarious.
basically they take, because of their actions, they're basically like a bunch of grown up kids trying to solve a neighborhood mystery. And of course, again, we go into spoiler territory if we're going to explain what happens in the end. But, they're trying to find Walter, and eventually Walter does show up.
Yeah.
And they're like, it gets over the top. It gets over the top. They're trespassing like big time, like breaking and entering. Like they really think, because they find his Walter's toupee in the Klopek's house. They finally all go to visit him. And the wives are like, we're gonna sell this like we're supposed to. We're just gonna go over and talk to him. So they make they make him go over and talk to the Klopeks. And obviously, there's so many hilarity ensues. But yeah, there's some of the best scenes are when they all go over to that one scene. Like for example,
With the awkward silence.
the
when they're all
awkward
sitting
silence,
there staring
and,
at
like,
each other.
so the what was his name? The actor that plays Ruben.
Oh yeah.
He's cast, his actual name is like Brother Thaddeus or something. He's some German guy, but his lines are so awesome.
Oh yeah.
My brother, it's like
Got that jaw just.
it's so good, that jaw. Yeah, it's like,
Right when Ray Peterson walks into his house, he's like, "You are the one who lives next door," and just stands there and stares at him. It's like so awkward.
they played it so well.
Oh,
Yeah, Hans like the
man.
little kid and everything.
Yeah.
Man. So
You
As a nice girl, friend of yours.
cute girlfriend of yours. It came with the frame.
speaking of Hans, do you guys know what else he was in?
Is this on the
I
trivia?
actually looked.
Do you know?
No, I don't.
I looked. He's in a lot of movies actually.
Well, specifically in Back to the Future,
yeah.
the first one, when McFly was with Lorraine dancing on the floor, and that guy comes up
What?
while he's
he's
up
jamming
on
out?
there jamming out. He's kind of messing up, and it's just kind of an whatever
Yeah.
that one type, and he's like coming onto her.
Yeah.
Is this redhead guy? That's him.
Oh, that's
Scram,
awesome.
McFly.
I know, it's crazy. But that was before
So
Burbs.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I told you guys I had a couple surprises for this one, and we've been doing a little thing ever since a few episodes ago when we brought in the Malort, because it went with the movie.
Yeah.
Right. What movie was that we did the Malort for? Do you remember? I had it for a reason. I can't remember.
It was the worst episode.
Oh yeah, the worst episode, worst liquor, right?
Yeah.
And then you brought
Yeah,
the J and B
yeah.
for the thing.
For the thing.
The
Right.
thing.
For that
And
thing.
So that thing. So I started thinking to myself, it'd be funny to do every now and then, like throw a little, thing in for the
Easter
theme
egg.
of the movie, right? A little Easter egg from the movie too.
Yeah.
And tell me if you guys remember this line from the movie.
Here we go. Oh, here we go.
What the?
Oh, no.
Sardines.
Don't-
Sardines.
Sardines.
What the heck is that? Real sardines?
Real sardines.
Oh,
I bought them just for today, and we're all gonna try some. What do you
oh
think?
man. Do you remember the sound effects when he bit
Oh, it's
into it?
terrible. And I got pretzels for that exact reason too.
Oh,
Sardines and
gross.
pretzels.
You gotta try one.
So
Oh, we're all going
gross.
to.
Oh,
Well, so you start it.
Oh, I'll start it. Yeah, but we're all going to take one.
I'll watch it. If
Oh,
I throw
man.
up, I'm not gonna eat.
It's okay.
I'm out for sure.
So
You're out. You like
I'm
fish.
a vegetarian.
You're not a
I don't eat
pescatarian.
fish.
He doesn't
No, I
eat
don't
fish.
eat
Oh,
fish.
fine.
Fish aren't people.
You have to smell the can though.
I might become
Just smell his fingers.
I feed our dogs sardines.
Oh man.
Sardines.
Oh
Do they like them?
my
All right,
Yeah,
while
yeah.
he's
I'll
setting
tell
up,
you what. I wasn't expecting you to ever do this. I was thinking, is he gonna pull out some drink that was
Right.
maybe somewhere in the movie or something?
Yeah.
Right when I saw that scene, I thought, how funny would it be to get some sardines?
while he's preparing the
Well, that's
sardines, I got a
surprise.
question for you guys.
All right.
We were talking about people that appeared in the film.
I would put that on the table. It's got filled with juice, by the way.
We're all gonna smell it. All right,
I hope
so
there's no smell.
Oh, it smells awful.
Okay, go on.
Hans was in Back to the Future, right?
Right.
The dog Queenie.
Yes.
She also appeared in a famous movie role.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you guys know what that is?
Queenie
If you
kinda had
know,
a
just
look.
pretend like you don't, so I can look cool.
Wait,
on-
who appeared in a movie role?
The dog.
The dog,
Queenie.
Walter's.
Do you
It was Walter's dog, right? Queenie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the question?
She,
What other movie?
Queenie was in another movie.
Really? The
Yeah,
same
like a
dog.
famous
Oh,
movie
she's
role.
in many movies. And I'll give her a hint.
Many movie. Okay, well, finish what you're gonna say. There.
no, that was it.
Oh.
He's asking-
Well, what movie is it?
That's
though?
what he's asking. Do you know?
No, I don't
Nobody
know.
knows.
I don't know.
Her name was Precious in that movie.
And
That's
give
right.
us a hint.
Do you know?
oh, you know.
I need a piece of chicken to put on my face. Silence of the lambs.
Oh wow.
Rubs the
Really?
lotion
Oh,
on
wow.
its skin, or
Yeah.
else it gets
That's
the hose
crazy.
again.
I feel like in the movie industry, there's only a few dogs. They're always
They
the
just
they're always the dogs. in the
Recycle them
movies.
for all the movies.
Yeah, they do what they're told, and that's
Hey,
it.
speaking of dogs
Does
and
what it's
movies,
told. Oh, this smells terrible.
Oh, that's go
It
gross.
smells exactly what I thought it was going to smell like.
Oh.
I cannot believe this is happening right
it's
now.
gonna
This
happen.
is, this is like my worst nightmare.
I've never had
All
sardines before in my life.
Have any of you had sardines?
no.
Oh, the
Never.
heck with that! I don't even like fish.
I'm gonna
Oh,
go,
really?
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
even
pee
like
real
fish.
fast.
I never have.
Oh,
gonna what?
No.
I gotta pee.
All of a sudden, this guy's got to be in the middle of a podcast. What?
gonna
I
get
never
puffed
even heard of such a thing. This has never happened before.
Wow. Okay.
I can smell that crap from here.
Oh, it smells awful.
Oh,
You're not going to be here while we eat these? You
Hey.
can just zoom in.
Hey,
It's-
I'm gonna film
interesting.
it for sure.
Hey, interesting thing though. Oh, let's
no, I didn't get this just for me.
let's see what happens here first before I go talk about this other.
All right. Well, someone else has to do this with me. All right.
Wait, we're gonna do it one at a time, aren't we?
One at a time.
Oh yeah.
One at a time. No. You guys are going to bail out.
Well, they're gonna bail out.
Oh my gosh!
Caleb, I believe he would do it because you eat fish, right? Yeah. But Caleb doesn't.
He had
So
sushi before.
if anybody's
it's fine.
gonna bail, it would be Caleb.
It smells terrible.
so bad.
It does.
This whole room smells
It stinks like dead fish.
sardines.
Sardines. All right. Such a small part of the movie, but man, did I think that was funny.
Holy
You
So-
know,
Wow.
that I was just thinking that's the big difference between Money Pit, and I love Money Pit. Don't get me wrong, but the big difference between Money Pit and the Burbs is if you say, "Give me an iconic line from the Burbs," I could probably rattle off 10.
10, 20 at
But
least.
Money
Oh yeah.
Maybe a few.
Couple.
Yeah,
2 weeks. That's
that-
the
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah, that's a good point. That makes a big difference in movies.
It does.
Is it quotable?
Yep.
It makes it like because you're joking about it after the movie.
Mhm.
Has anyone ever went to pee during Joe Rogan?
Say what?
Has that ever happened?
Oh,
I gotta take a pee
the
in the middle
heck
of-
with that! This has never happened. That's
In the history of podcasts, I think that's the first time
for
where
sure.
one of the main people on the podcast is like, "Oh, let's just stop and I gotta go take
I
a
gotta
leak."
pee.
They probably just cut it out.
All right, I'm back.
He peed already. In like,
Oh my
It was like 2
All right.
seconds.
Caleb, you gotta do this with me.
Hey,
You gotta do this with me. I didn't get this just for me. All right, this is supposed to be funny, and everyone's supposed to have a terrible time.
it's funny, all right.
It
There's
is
no
funny.
doubt about that.
I'll even take the. You get the little tiny little minnow over here.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe people even are eating this.
I
in
can't
real,
either.
in real life.
I've never had a sardine in my life. I am not looking forward to
Oh,
this.
You
The
gotta,
idea
you
of it
gotta
has made
do
me
it.
sick all day.
Oh, you gotta do it.
Well, I'm doing it, but you
I
are
know.
too. Come on,
Oh, no.
come on. Think about how funny this is.
I
gonna
can't
be.
even. I have to forward the part in Burbs. I can't even watch him eat it.
Think of like on all the TikTokers out there just waiting for you to eat the sardine.
Oh, there you go.
Sit on his lap.
Sardines.
All right. Well,
What are people on TikTok saying?
Andy, are you gonna do this with
Is
me? or
anybody
what?
eating sardines? Sardines and pretzels like the Burbs?
All right.
Any
Raz is gonna be
TikTokers are all
so proud
about
of
it.
you.
Raz is gonna be.
Oh,
Think of Raz. Do this for your son.
Caleb, your son.
Your son.
Your
Oh,
son
that's
is watching.
From the
Your
Burbs. You guys
son.
remember that?
Oh my gosh, this thing just
Oh, that's
melts when you
good.
touch it. Oh, it's
That just
Seriously.
shows how we know the Burbs,
I know.
man.
Take one down, pass it down.
That was the final straw for Ray.
It was.
He was like, "Okay, that's it. You know, we're going over there right now."
They're daring each other to ring the doorbell.
Oh man.
All right, pass it down. Pass it down. Come on.
I can't even look at this stuff. Don't even spill it on me because I can't even fathom.
Oh
what-
my god.
what would
Caleb, you
happen.
gotta take a bite, man.
Oh, the heck with that crap.
Oh.
It's nutritious.
Oh my
It's-
gosh.
yeah,
Is
think
that
about
stuff expired or something? Why
Oh,
does it
no.
smell like that?
Oh no.
Are you sure it's not like expired?
Oh no.
I'm sure it's been sitting on the
It's
shelf
melting when you
for
touch
years
it.
because oh wow, melting when you touch it.
It's like butter in your mouth, Caleb.
Oh, I believe it.
I said, just grab one.
Oh my god.
Just get a hold of her. Wrangle it in.
Oh, my
those pretzels are
gosh.
ruined. What are you doing? Just grab one.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh my.
A little head?
It's
You better
fine.
take the whole damn
No,
thing, bro.
that's-
Little head.
Look at all that juice. Oh my gosh. No.
Add some more.
Okay, there you go. Oh
All
wow.
right, look at this. Here we go.
Cheers.
You guys
Cheers.
Sardines.
All right, just like you ate it.
Oh, that sounds just like the movie.
Do it in the mic.
It's so gross.
Caleb, where's yours?
I mean, it
I
tastes like
would-
fish.
It really
Are you
does.
really not gonna do
Oh,
it?
I'm 100% not doing it. This is I'm grossed out so bad right now. You can call me Dilly or whatever.
All right, well,
Oh, so
There's
good.
just-
honestly,
no
it wasn't
way.
as bad as I thought. It smells way worse than it is.
Really?
Stephanie will eat them. Yeah.
It
she'll-
smells far worse than
Stephanie's
what it
eating
is.
That's true.
Sardines?
She'll eat them.
I wouldn't even mind this, honestly.
It smells horrible.
Yeah,
But
it smells
tastes
horrible,
actually
but the taste is not that bad. It really. I'll try one more.
Go for it, Caleb.
Oh, one more, he's saying.
Try, Caleb,
This
try
guy's
it.
going in for a second. Why do you keep saying that for? You're trying to pit me in it.
Sardines.
I'm about to be a vegetarian. This is
not
my
too late to
this is my
change.
turning point.
Oh.
This is my turning point.
Last straw.
Get these out of here.
Yeah, please.
Whew.
In some other
Smells like ninth grade.
yeah, a different house in the backyard or something, please.
Oh man.
Guys, once this guy makes it back into the room. Hey, check this out.
Yeah.
That was traumatizing, but
Have Caleb smell your fingers.
oh,
Dude, just smell
no,
it.
I don't want to do that. Get these out of here. I smelled it all. Anyway, so interesting fact.
Yeah.
The Burbs, if you looked it up on like again IMDb, it's not rated very high.
It's not. It's got terrible ratings.
It does.
Once again, panned by those a-holes, Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah. Well, and
A bunch of chuds.
the critic rating is always the worst.
What
When
a
it comes to comedies, the critic rating is always the worst. Well, here's an interesting fact. The Burbs, this guy from New York Times rated The Burbs a 3 out of 10.
Oh my Lord. That's why the New York Times is fake news.
There was another movie
Fake news.
that we rated. Well,
3 out of 10?
last week also same guy rated 3 out of 10.
What?
The Thing.
That thing?
We gotta find this guy.
He rated The Thing
What's his name?
and The Burbs.
What's
two,
his
two
whole
totally
name?
different
You got
movies.
some sardine on your lip.
Two totally different movies that we both like.
Highly rated movies.
And
Highly.
both of those he rated 3 out of 10. And then Ebert said about the Money Pit, he rated that horribly. He said there's one funny part and the rest of it's basically trash.
Wow.
I think he said that just because Tom Hanks
I
wouldn't
never
sleep
liked
with him.
Ebert.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's an idiot.
Never
And
liked
this
him.
guy from the New York Times who rated both those movies horribly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got a history. I looked up a few different movies that I love. He rated them all horribly. He's just like,
you know what?
why is this guy even in that position? I mean, does anybody out there agree with this ding
No,
dong?
and that's why Ebert.
This ding
That's why
dong.
Ebert's exactly where he belongs.
Oh.
Ouch.
Is Siskel still alive? Is that the one that's?
No, he's
No.
dead too.
Oh, they're both dead.
Yeah.
Ebert
We
was
all
the
know
one
he
who-
slept
who
his
out-
way to the top, though.
Yeah,
Ebert lasted longest, right?
Siskel did. Ebert died first.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then Siskel's like, "Ooh, I can do it." He tried to do his
yeah.
own show. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
"Ooh,
like,
one
"Oh,
thumb up."
I have two
Yeah.
I have
thumbs.
two
Oh.
thumbs too. It's like,
Oh.
I'm gonna continually rate movies poorly though, because I'm a big dummy. And then he,
Well, see,
whatever.
that's what
Then he
happened.
broke his thumb. His career was over.
I feel like that's
Wow.
what happens with critics. They start to they put in this role where people like look up to their opinion of movies, and so they
Yeah.
tend to like over criticize the movies and start to be like just
Too nitpicky and
yeah,
stuff.
it's just and it becomes like not what people want.
And
to
then
hear.
all of a sudden, big budget like places are coming to them. Paramount
Yeah.
comes to them. They butter their
They
butter
trust
their
their
palms.
opinion.
They're like, no,
Oh.
like big movie production
Oh,
companies will be
yeah.
like, oh, we're looking for a thumb
Yeah.
up here. What do you think? And they
Yeah.
back the old Brinks trucks up. And I'll tell you right now, we will never do that here on
And-
this
and
channel.
even-
Right.
And I'm telling you right now, there's a movie we're gonna watch called Bad CGI Gator that's coming out, which looks hilarious. And I'm telling you right now, I will give an honest opinion. I don't care how much money you guys at that movie company throw at us, but my PayPal will be linked below for no reason at all. Okay?
I don't care how much you fill it up.
Yeah. I'm gonna give my honest opinion, and my honest opinion can be bought. I just want that to be.
But the price is completely unknown.
Oh, it's unknown. It's unknown. You start filling up the tank, and we'll see.
Yeah.
That thumb up goes. It starts going towards the high.
We'll see
couple
how many
notes.
donuts we get on TikToks.
Oh yeah, we need a lot of donuts.
Is that
Mhm.
what does that mean? Is that
Uh,
a TikTok thing?
Yeah,
On TikTok,
they-
I don't know.
It's
I'm
like
not on TikTok.
people can pay real money to send you fake donuts on TikTok.
Or and many other things.
Many
I
other
mean,
things,
That's
yeah.
just what
Hmm.
I.
Yeah.
that was
Caleb
my-
just loves his donuts.
Yeah, that's my choice.
So they don't have
Yeah.
cinnamon rolls, so it is.
So
what
it's
it is.
convertible to donuts.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So the donut
Yeah.
ratio, the cash to the donut ratio.
Okay, so we're at 43 minutes. So
Yeah, we gotta get into
All right,
let's. I got a question for you about
hear
the
it.
Burbs.
Let's hear it.
Please.
Did anybody notice the foreshadowing in the movie? And if they did, what was it?
Are you talking about the noose?
The Burbs. The news.
The noose?
Noose.
Like the
Noose.
thing you...
Yes, the hangman's noose.
No, what is
No.
that?
Oh, there's a part where
Oh.
a noose is in the shadow when they walk and talk to Ruben in the house. There's a shadow of a noose behind him.
No, I
That's-
didn't notice that.
Mhm.
Okay, go on.
Tell us what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Tell us what you're talking about.
Well, you tell me.
You tell
Did
me.
you notice?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You
no.
know
Well,
about
there's
any
sa-
foreskin shadowing or anything?
That would be cool. You just see a shadow.
No.
Okay.
So somebody says something earlier in the movie.
I mean,
Just spill the beans.
I really don't know.
Okay, Carol says something earlier in the movie that tells you what's going to happen later in the movie.
What?
She literally just says what's
Oh,
going
the
to happen.
catch on fire. Yeah, that part, right? Where she's like, "Oh, someone's gonna get it blown up
Yeah,
or
I
caught on
don't-
fire or something."
Yeah,
right?
if something. Yeah,
or
something.
fall off a building and catch on
something.
fire.
I don't. You guys gonna fall off a roof and catch on fire.
Yeah,
And then both of them end up
both
happening.
happened.
Yeah.
Yep, I do remember that. I remember when she said it. I was
Yeah.
like, both those happened.
Yeah.
Good call, Josh.
Yep.
What else you got for us?
I was just gonna say, I thought the cinematography was very creative in that movie.
So,
Like about how they pan around, like
Yeah.
when Hans is standing on the porch
Yeah.
and he pans around and sees all the neighbors
Different
watching
houses.
him,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and then it zooms in on all the eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of a flashback to The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
yeah,
You
it
remember
was.
that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they did it. Yeah. A funny thing about that as well. So they built that entire set on the back lot of
Universal.
Universal. It's like a famous back lot they use for houses. 2 of the houses are extremely famous. One of them was the house from Leave It to Beaver. I think that was the house Walter lived in. And the house that Rumsfeld lived in was from the Munsters.
Get out of here.
I'm serious. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's the house from it. And they just like scooted it over to, make it a cul-de-sac.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Weird.
pretty funny.
I always used to think that when they were in the beginning, when they're like zooming in from the space into the, all the way to the out of the neighborhood. And then even when they get down to the neighborhood, all the street lights and all the houses, I always thought that looked so good and realistic.
Yeah.
Too good.
But seeing it now, I'm like, those are so obviously like,
Fake.
a little models and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's like such a fake street and stuff. I'm like, how did I think that was so real looking back then?
When you're a kid, there's a lot more to your imagination.
Well, I don't think it's
The
just
older
that.
you get,
It's just like people with video games. They're like,
yeah.
hearing people talk about video games back in the
so
day, like,
real.
oh, it's
Playing
so
007.
realistic. Yeah, they're
they're
like,
just now
you
see
see
them
them nowadays like
Minecraft.
pixelated.
Well,
like
another thing is that when we were younger, the resolution on the TVs were crap.
That's true.
So it probably
Yeah.
now
did
it's
look a
all
lot more real.
8K. You can see the veins on every dilly. It's just over the top.
So that Universal backlot, it is like
Earplugs.
it is like an actual city. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a
recently
neighborhood.
before. Like that's where they shot Ninja Warrior, the finals and stuff.
I
In,
mean, that
in
makes
LA.
sense. They can
It's like a
customize
whole
It's permanent
city.
houses,
It's a street.
yeah.
They got the really cool like lamps and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
all like pre-decorated, and they can
Mhm.
just film whenever they want.
Yeah, there's been a lot of movies made like that. All right.
Well,
You guys ready for this?
Yeah,
we're gonna go.
please, let's
We're running
get
out of
to it.
time
Yeah,
here. It's
we're
gonna be a
running out
long
of
one, but
time.
that's okay. All right, so this is how we're gonna do it. I
Yeah.
want everyone to put their hand right here. Okay, hover over the
Now,
table.
did you come up with these questions, or are these like
Oh yeah. Well, yes, I came up with them, but I fact checked them to make sure they're accurate.
okay?
So as I watched them, I started thinking to myself, "What's another?"
I
First I had the idea for the sardines, and then I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I was talking to actually Colin too, and he's like, "Oh, you should do a quiz sometime." And
Yeah.
I was like, "That's a pretty good idea." And so,
As long as you didn't look up like questions that
oh
are
no,
like,
no, I did not look up any
things
questions.
that are like almost unknown or to the like. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
All
Go
right,
on.
yeah, they're not unknown.
Okay.
These are pretty easy, honestly, and I
Oh.
think some of them had already been
That's good.
answered.
Okay.
Some have already been asked and answered.
Okay.
But,
All right, on with it.
All right.
but
I'm
we're gonna go with it. All right. There's 5 questions. We're gonna see who wins. Caleb, you might want to get your hand closer because we're gonna see who
Okay.
gets this. All right. Question number
Your
1.
dog's on my head.
Do I say the answer or do I hit the table or both?
Table first, and then
Okay.
answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we
I'll
go,
be
we got-
watching.
We're good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Question number 1. Actually, I'm gonna save this one to the last because I don't know if anyone knows this. All right.
I know all of them. Okay, go on.
All right. Question number 1. Name all 3 Klopeks. Name all 3 of the Klopeks. There's 3 of them. Anyone? Come on now. Come on. One of you
And
hit the
wait,
ding buzzer.
Dr. Klopek doesn't count?
Andy hit it.
Ruben Hans and the brother, Dr. Klopek.
Yes.
So I
So
already knew that.
Well, I mean,
So
we knew that.
that
but
is correct. However, do you remember the doctor's name
Yeah,
for the bonus
that's what I was
points?
trying to think of. Like, what's the doctor's first name? Is that what
They
you're
say
saying?
it at the end when they're vetting his
Yeah,
They do.
background.
They
Yeah.
do
Doc-
say
see,
it.
that's the
Doctor
thing.
Blick.
Dr. Blank
Yeah.
Klopek, and he works at. He's very famous. He's
And he even pronounces his name Klopek.
Yeah,
That guy.
yeah,
that
the
guy
guy-
I was talking
yeah.
about.
Who is Dr. Robert Klopek?
No.
Dang it, I guessed.
anyone. Final answer.
Shoot, I don't know.
Dr. Werner Klopek.
No way.
Dr. Werner Klopek.
What?
Mhm.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought of
That's
Hey.
that.
crazy.
All right. How about
See ya.
for a follow up question?
Okay.
What was Dr. Werner Klopek's job?
Oh.
He had a job.
Yeah. He's a highly respected, not paleontologist.
Close. That is close. You're in the ballpark.
I know. It's probably
Think this one over.
Pathologist.
He's a pathologist.
Yeah.
Good call. Andy gets the
Chris.
point.
You're close.
We'll give
Let me
it
set it up.
Good one.
And I'm going to give you the full point. So you got 1 out of 5 for that one. All right. So that was the bonus question.
I knew it sounded like that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Very good. All right.
always the setup and the finish.
This is going to be. This is
All
going to be an easy one. This was already, in fact, answered, unfortunately. But
all right.
what was Walter's dog's name?
Queenie.
Bam! 2 for Andy. You are being shown up.
That's crazy.
Queenie.
Oh my gosh. All right. This is another easy one. This is another layup. Name all 5 main characters.
All right. I mean, I'll try.
Well,
All right.
I'll try.
All right. Let's see it.
Okay.
First and last name.
Ray Peterson.
Bam. That's 1.
Art. Something guard.
You're dang close.
Garden.
You're dang close.
I'll skip that.
All right. You'll come back to it.
I mean Rumsfeld. I don't know. I don't know his first name.
I'm trying to think of the scene where they asked that.
James Rumsfeld.
No. James Rumsfeld, I think.
Ricky.
He's trying to look at his shirt.
Ricky Martin. No. I don't know.
Is
Anyone?
that Corey Feldman's character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Corey Feldman's character. What was his last name? It's right there. Read his shirt and say
Butler.
it.
That's cheating.
Butler. Ricky Butler.
Butler.
Ricky Butler said. I said that earlier today. Oh.
All right, and I don't even remember when they say this guy's last name. All right, so we got Ray Peterson, Mark Rumsfeld, Art Weingartner,
Weingartner, yeah.
Ricky Butler, and the 5th one would have been Walter, which is Walter Sesnick.
Really?
Yeah, see, I mean,
Walter would be a main character?
Well, he was
I
one of the main
mean,
characters.
he's like one of
on
the main neighbors.
Main
but-
neighbors is what I should have said, but all right, that's fine. That's fine.
I
thought
would
we were
say
gonna do
Carol
better.
would probably be a more main character.
We might have to, watch this movie one more time, I think. But
Sounds like it.
all right, we have 2 more questions here. 2 more questions. What was the name of the cul-de-sac they lived on? Right in the very beginning of the movie, the camera pans down
I definitely
to.
don't know.
It's not Hickory Hills, right?
Nope, not even close. Neither of those names are in it.
You're wrong about that. I'm
I don't
gonna.
know.
You're wrong about it.
I'm usually popping my popcorn at that point. I don't even know.
It's Hickory Hills.
No, it's Mayfield Place.
Oh, wow.
That is the cul-de-sac they live on. Mayfield
No,
Place.
that
Man,
well, maybe
good
that's right.
questions, though.
All right, last one. This is.
Another one.
I thought this one was going to be the only tough one. I thought you guys were going to nail those other ones. That's
Man.
all right.
Oh,
Last
wow.
question.
Yeah.
What was the Klopex address?
Oh, wow.
It flipped.
It was 669.
Yeah,
Oh,
Caleb buzzed in
yeah.
669.
His flip flipped over to
yeah.
666. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He hit the thing 666 when it rotates.
Oh yeah.
Mayfield Place was the road.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the community called then?
Well, that was the name of the road they lived on. What do you mean the community? It's not, I don't know. It's
That was
just
in the
called
story
Mayfield
too.
Place.
No, it was Hickory Hills,
Is that's the name of their housing community?
like their subdivision or whatever.
Maybe.
Huh.
I don't
Their
know. I just know
their
that the road
suburb.
they lived on was Mayfield Place.
Anybody
You
else
know,
have
the
any?
burb that they were in.
Anybody else think of any quizzes? Anything that they can think of that's
He
like?
wants to get something.
Well, I'm just saying, like, see if I can quiz you guys on something here.
There was a
Let's see.
famous monkey on the set of the movie,
I already know this one.
and this is debatable.
Monkey.
This is debatable. There was a monkey.
Listen,
on
there's
the
no
set.
way they're going to get this unless
Yeah,
they
I
saw
don't
the
know
same thing
anything
we
about
read.
that,
Yeah. Forget it.
It's Bubbles. Michael Jackson's monkey. They kept coming to visit for some reason.
Hmm.
Very strange.
Well, it turned out that wasn't true. Cracked or whatever.
Oh, it's fake, huh?
It's
Well, I
fake.
didn't know that.
It was one of the kids on set.
Okay.
I think it was a little boy.
I got one for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Ricky Butler at night. They're all talking. Art, Ray Peterson, and Ricky are at their house. They're talking about a movie in which a guy is like coming out
Oh,
of.
Mhm.
I know Chama.
All right, what movie is it that they're talking about?
I know.
What is it?
Do you want me to answer?
That's what I'm asking you.
It was called. I'm going to get
Just
this.
go ahead
I'm
and
going to be
answer it.
close. I'm going to be very close, and you're going to have to help me with this. It's something like Racing Satan or something like that.
No.
It
Oh,
was
that's close. It's racing the race.
No,
Racing the
Race isn't it-
Devil
no,
or something. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
no.
No, he's talking about there's 3 movies that kind
Oh,
of
I know.
played when he was
He's
flipping
a-
through the channels.
Race-
That was
all right. So Ricky Butler says, "Have you ever seen the movie blank?"
The Sentinel.
Yes.
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So there's what Andy's talking about is there's 3 movies that he watches as he falls asleep.
Okay. Yeah.
do you know those 3 movies?
Well, he One of them is
Texas.
One of them is
Chainsaw
called
Massacre.
Racing Satan.
one of them
Part
is
two.
Exorcist.
Yes. The second one was Exorcist, or second one was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah.
And the third one was Exorcist, or whatever order it was. But the first one was a movie, because that's interesting. I was like,
Yeah.
what was the first movie? I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
It's
Human
something called like
Sacrifice.
Racing Satan or something like
Huh.
that. Or Racing
Crazy.
the Devil or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
The Sentinel was filmed in 1974,
All right.
and I saw that he said that. I immediately looked it up.
I got another quiz for you.
Let's see it.
This is the kind of questions I want to answer.
Yeah, these are good.
What's the guy's name who owned the Shake?
Skip.
Skip.
Skip what?
Who owned what?
Skippity
though?
dip.
The ice cream shop.
Skippity doo.
The murderer that owned the ice
The
cream shop.
murderer who talks about who owns that ice cream shop, who
Oh, shoot.
killed his family, went back to making, you know.
I don't remember his last name. Skip something. I remember that. And then what's his name? Dresses up as him in his nightmare.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Ray, it's me.
It's me, Skip. All right.
Who ordered the blood shake?
What was his name?
I have no idea.
Oh shoot!
I was hoping you
man.
did. I
Oh my gosh!
don't even know if they said it.
Zing!
Oh man! All right, so final ratings for we'll put a little cap on this one since it's running long. Outstanding movie. Since we're doing the rankings out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 9.3.
Wow.
9.3. I think it's
All
a
right.
well 9.2. 9.2. I think it was a great movie. Definitely a classic.
Oh,
You could watch it a
definitely.
million times. In fact, when I watched it the first time, there's so many funny lines I remember saying when I was younger that I wanted to watch it again to remember all the things. Like,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
oh gosh, I could have used one earlier. Like when we were trying to get the other camera to work, and I thought to myself, you know what they call it? We had the saying for this in South Asia:
So bad
Southeast Asia.
karma.
bad karma, bad karma. Anyways, so many things, so many quotable lines in it. The entire movie, outstanding.
Yeah.
The actors really, they did it well. Everything was believable. Carrie Fisher's character was even good in it. Like she played like the housewife pretty well. There was in the Klopex by themselves. Every one of them was so unique that they're outstanding. They sold the
Oh,
movie.
man,
Without
totally.
them, it was not as good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all three
Good.
of them played their creepy ass characters so unbelievably well that it just really sold you that there's some creeps, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
Later, actually, down the line, you'd find out that they were relatives of the campus creep from a different movie. But
Mm.
Also
Wow.
found out like a lot of those characters they didn't get along on the set in real life.
some
Wow.
of them,
Yeah, a lot of them.
yeah.
Mm.
But Caleb, what do you think? So I gave it a 9.2.
Yeah.
Final answer. What do you think?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have that movie at a 9.6.
9.6? Okay.
That's way up there.
It is up there.
I mean, if you remember episode 1, I rated that movie. That was one of my top.
Oh, that's
like,
true. It wasn't
top
your favorite
3.
comedy
It
of
was
all
like my
time.
number 3
Yeah.
movies of all
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Of
So
comedies,
there,
yeah.
9.6.
6.
So we got a 9.2, a
Mhm.
9.6.
I'm gonna come in just a little bit below that at a 9.0.
Okay.
I wanna tag because I forgot to mention this earlier. There's a movie reference on a cereal box that hits the table when Ray is smashing all the food at their neighbor's house. Do you guys know what movie the cereal box is from?
I do.
A movie it's from?
Yeah,
No, I have no idea.
there's a cereal box.
I remember he had Freakies, and he had Gremlins.
Gremlins.
There you go. It was Gremlins. Yeah.
It's because the
Oh.
director was the same director from Gremlins.
Really?
Yep.
That's
With-
crazy. That's
also
awesome.
with Corey Feldman.
Also with Corey Feldman.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, what do
Huh.
you give it?
9. I'm with you.
9.
All right.
Yeah. That was a
Hmm.
solid.
You know why?
9.
It's because they're left-handed.
Could
Lefty
be.
stick
They
together.
like over there.
We're more creative.
Well, they're just. I don't know about that. You sure about that?
Scientific. It's
Are you
science.
sure about that?
All right, so we got a 9.2, a 9.6, a little high. That's
Yeah.
good though. I
Oh,
anticipate
yes.
that. A 9 and 9. All to say, outstanding movie.
Yep.
Definitely. If you haven't seen The Burbs, you're missing out because it is one of the best late 80s comedies. Like
Yep.
it's everything about it's great. There's no
Yeah.
boring sleeper moment where you can go get popcorn. There's so many funny parts, you'll miss it. There's sardines in it. Terrible tasting sardines. Now that I'm thinking more about it, I have a terrible taste in my mouth and I really want to rinse it out. But
It's definitely one of those movies that you can watch over and over and over again, never get sick of.
Right.
Yeah,
and just
that's
keep
true.
enjoying it more and more
Yep.
because there's so many quotable
Right, the more you watch it, the
lines
funnier it
and
gets.
parts. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
Especially if you watch it with friends. You have to watch it with
And
friends.
here's the thing: it's the Burbs is based in suburbs. So anybody who lives in a house or in a neighborhood would like it.
Anyone that lives in a
Yeah.
suburb. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's
So anybody
actually,
who lives at all, anybody alive,
Or even if you
will
grew
like
up in a
it.
suburb.
Like
you
if
know?
you
if you're
have
breathing,
a
you
mom or
probably like
dad,
it.
you can relate to it a lot.
Yeah, one of the things that I noted when I was writing my notes is that I thought it was great how they made every character so unique. And you think about your own neighborhood and think about how all the quirky people that
Oh,
live
yeah.
in your neighborhood.
There's always those
Seriously.
quirky
Oh,
kids.
It's
yeah,
like they did
there's
such a good
always-
job at.
Like every
Make everybody
neighborhood
so
has
different.
your
Now that you
standard
mention
typical
it,
characters.
Yeah.
Dan and I had a neighbor. I just remember like going outside the house and hearing some guy calling his dog Rusty. You remember that?
Yeah.
Total Queenie situation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Somebody
Yeah.
with the
Those guys
annoying
gave
dog
us
that's
change
running
out
around
for
the
Halloween
neighborhood.
once.
yes they did.
They gave us change for Halloween.
They were
Give you what?
special.
There's change. Like a handful of change.
Yeah,
Very strange.
we
It's
had
like-
some of those. They gave us like some random like quarters or some
Yeah.
crap.
Fresh
One-
from underneath the sofa.
Whatever happened to that guy that gave you that monkey paw? Did you ever make those wishes on that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I did. It
Unfortunately.
blew up my face.
Oh, man. They usually do. That's a
Backfired.
thing. Anyways, that's gonna do it. Maybe next time we'll talk about what Josh got from that guy, and if he ever used that, and but that's gonna do it for now. Good movies. Tom Hanks, fine actor. We had fun. We hope you had fun. I don't recommend Sardines. I do recommend The Burbs. And that's gonna do it. Until next time.
Hey, you know what they say?
What do they say?
Green sky in the morning,
Neighbor,
Neighbor
take warning.
green sky at night.
Neighbor,
Neighbor
take
take
flight.
flight.